Today on Outside the Box Reviews, we're taking a look at the NECA Terminator 2 San Diego Comic-Con 2010 exclusive Liquid Metal T1000. As I said before, this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but I did buy mine at Toys R Us for whatever reason. Toys R Us at some point got a bunch of NECA Comic-Con 2010 exclusives in. I wish they would have gotten future years, because that would have been pretty cool, but there were a bunch of these swinging from the pegs for a while. And this figure is just a repaint of the Galleria Mall version we already got. This is just done in the pure silver plastic to make him look like he's turning into a big glob of liquid metal. We do get the T1000's pistol here. Same sculpt, same detail we got in the other version. But this one is done all in silver, and I don't like that. One of the big things in Terminator 2 is that the T1000 cannot make guns or explosives or things like that. And as a display piece, if you have it just tucked away in its holster here, it's not a bad way to go with it. You could just have it like it's part of him, just for display purposes almost. But I would have really rather we gotten the black gun that came with the original release, so that we could have him basically with the real gun. Recreate the scene maybe where he gets the gun stuck in the bars at the hospital, because it won't transform like the rest of him. And as I said, same figure we got before, just done in this very nice shiny chrome plastic. Has a great reflective quality to it. I guess it's paint and not just the plastic, but it's the same sculpt that we got earlier. It looks really nice in this liquid silver, but the details are not something we need to go over too intently because we already did that. But the head sculpt I still like. Very good Robert Patrick likeness. Looking very good there. He's got his uniform. Hey, this time the badge is completely silver. That's a plus over some of the other versions. He's got his sleeves there. Now his hands, we do get these relaxed hands, one for each side. We're just kind of an open pose. Or we could pop those off, and we could pop in his trigger fingers. One for either side for this one too, just so you can go either hand with it. And then just for his right side, he has the elongated finger. Same accessories as the Galleria version. Same thing all over again. I do notice that these hands don't fit in here particularly snugly. They're actually very loose. I haven't changed these hands out much, and it is kind of weird to see it so wobbly inside the socket. Coming down, one nice thing about getting a monochromatic figure is that you kind of can see all the detail that maybe you didn't see because of the paint. You can really make out the wrinkles on here very nicely. Even the texture, the kind of fabric texture they've sculpted into the shirt, which is a very subtle detail that you might not always notice. He's got his belt on here. This is the rubberized plastic, and it actually does a pretty good job of replicating the look of the rest of the figure. It's not quite as shiny, and this version, it's actually glued onto the body a little more tightly. My other versions, it's kind of free-floating, just held on like one place. Here, it's very just stuck on in one place and doesn't bug me at all. Got his pants, all the nice wrinkles going down, with the little blob of silver coming off his foot still, even though he's all silver. But once again, a very well detailed sculpt, but nothing really else to look at besides just the sculpt. For articulation, we have a ball joint at the base of the neck, pin socket shoulders. These are very stiff on mine. Can bend and rotate at the elbow. Now I do assume that if you wanted to, you could pop these arms off and replace them with the other figures. So if you wanted your Galleria version just to have a silver forearm for some reason, you could probably do that. Swivel at the waist, and swivel at the foot. So overall, while there's not a lot new to say about this version of the T1000, I think he is an okay figure. He's gonna get a very, 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 very weak recommend. He's not bad in any respect. The sculpt is all there. Everything's good, but it just kind of feels boring in that it's a retread of a figure we already had. If they would have done something special, just a little something extra, a different exclusive hand to go with it, if it would have come with a head that was maybe less defined and more of just the amorphous blob, kind of like what my Hot Toy statue came with, where there's the one head that's kind of amorphous and the one that's Robert Patrick. That would have kind of been cool. But as it stands with this, it's kind of dull having the other figure right next to it, and all of these T1000s have some little hint of the liquid silver there. So this one, just having it all liquid metal, doesn't quite work as well for me as I would like. But But like I said, there's nothing wrong with the figure. It's just a little dull, so it gets a recommend. It's just a very weak one just because it's not that interesting. Fortunately, these things did become widely available at Toys R Us, like I said, so they were available without having to pay super scalper prices if you were like me and passed on it and were willing to continue having passed on it until you randomly saw it at a toy store shelf. And I do wonder, because these things didn't seem to move too fast at Toys R Us, I do wonder what it's actually like on the secondary market. I haven't had a chance to look it up, but I'm going to guess it's probably not as bad as it could be. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, username Outside the Box Reviews. Also check me out on Facebook, link below. And until next time, this has been our Outside the Box Reviews. I'll be back.